Hi, my name is Jeremy Stone, and I'm Director of the Community Economic Development Program at Simon Fraser University. We've been around for 30 years, since 1989, working in community economic development, focusing on both rural and urban areas across Canada and elsewhere. And at this point, we have both practitioner programs and research programs. So on the practitioner side, we have a certificate program in community economic development, which works with economic development officers who are trying to add that community-focused lens. We also have our LEAP Social Economy Accelerator, where we partner with Community Futures to deliver, entrepreneurship programming for new and aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those who want to integrate social or environmental value into the businesses that they're developing. More on the research side, we have several programs that, even though their research, are also very focused on implementation. And I would say from the perspective of research, it's an applied research approach. We're doing work in the field, and then we're writing up from that. And so one example is our economic reconciliation program, where we work with Indigenous leaders across the province to think through what economic reconciliation looks like, develop tools and other frameworks for economic reconciliation. Currently, that program is led by Chief Leanne Joe of the Squamish Nation. And so, what's exciting about it is that it is Indigenous led, it's Indigenous worldviews and approaches. And what we've been trying to do is really focus that work on seeing how we can change the way that non-Indigenous people are engaging in reconciliation, how they can, do the work in their communities to think more about their relationships with First Nations, to actually change the economy, to partner, to plan together. And a lot of that involves internal work for them. And so, so we're trying as we go to integrate more of the workshops and more of the, the information sharing and research sharing that enables that. Another important program is our economic resilience program. We work with communities to do economic resilience planning, both before and after disruption. So on the before side, we have a background, like I personally have a background in economic recovery after disaster. So we work a lot with rural areas, small municipalities and others to develop the community engagement and to bring forward all of the different partners to the table to think through, well, what does an actual resilience plan look like for the economy? How do we react to any hazard? And try to figure out beforehand, where can we set up the resources, who will do what, where are the responsibilities, so that then when something happens, like say when COVID happened, most communities were caught flat-footed. They didn't have plans for this sort of thing. And so now we're building that capacity in so that if there's a fire or a flood or an earthquake or a major employer loss or something else, that we can support those communities, that they already have plans, they can just initiate out the gate and start supporting their local businesses. After disaster, we also have programs such as our CED assessment program, where we've been working with communities that have had major mill closures here in British Columbia, which has a very similar impact as an economic disaster. We have people who leave the community, just like you might evacuate after a fire or a flood, and many of those people don't return. There are significant changes to people's way of life. And so rather than working from a top-down approach of looking at industries and major employers, we try to work from the bottom up and support communities in not only understanding what their economy can benefit from, like what assets they have, what they can build on, how they can take small and sort of scale it up to medium and maybe even large someday, but also providing them with the case studies and the research and the examples so that they can, educate their community, sort of sell them on a future that is different, and develop, different ways of doing the economy, like co-ops and social enterprises and other approaches. And through all of this, we have sort of a layer of a research program in the sense that, we're constantly working with government, foundations, and other, other leaders to bring these examples to them and to be able to show them, how to do things. We get a lot of requests to do just individual pieces of research on different ideas related to community-based economic development, asset-based community development, that kind of thing, to help them make better decisions and move forward. And so, we're always open to collaboration. We're really interested in the things that people aren't thinking about or aren't talking about. We're especially interested in rural communities and small municipalities who are struggling to get the attention that a lot of the rest of the research networks and even government and others aren't elevating and aren't considering. So thank you.